The New York Knicks, one of the most marketable franchises in NBA history. They've kinda sucked over the last few years. No, they don't just suck, they suck balls. It's either Isaiah Thomas or Phil Jackson or trading Patrick Ewing or whatever. But with the new addition of our 7'3" savior, the Knicks actually have a bright future. Well, not exactly. They're kind of in the complicated situation right now. And me, what's up y'all, it's Bass T Burns. If you're wondering where the old animation was, don't talk to me. Ask my old director, the inconsistent kid. But anyways, I'm not here trying to hate the Knicks, because why would I do that? Many people have ripped them off already, including these guys from First Take.
I don't know what I would do to Phil Jackson if he showed this face. This man is a disgrace. And by the way, his very first move as the executive was to sign Lamar Odom, who was on crack.
Right now what the Knicks are, they're in a situation called the NBA Purgatory, or also known as the No Man's Land. Right, so basically this is pretty much the worst position you can ever be in the NBA, because you're not good enough to land a top 3 pick, but you're not really good enough to compete for a championship, let alone a playoff spot. Basically it's pretty bad. And yeah, they're now 12-13. I mean, they might be good at home, but they just can't win away games. Like recently, they've just lost to the Bulls, and it's really bad. It's really bad. If this keeps going on, it's gonna be the same like last year. I hope till Christmas, and then a certain MVP went AWOL. By the way, hashtag pray for Rose, because he might not have full use of his legs right now if he keeps getting injured. But anyway, looking at the roster right now, they have Porzingis, Unicorn, whatever you wanna call him. He's basically the Knicks savior right now. And they've also looked pretty good actually, with less ISO ball and more ball movement. And most importantly, no triangle. Oh yeah, and I want to talk more about Phil Jackson in this video. Yeah, sure, he might get rid of Melo, but in the end, his timeline just doesn't match with Porzingis. So, I mean, disrespecting him is not the perfect way to move him away, but let's be clear, without Melo, the Knicks are currently thriving right now, and as much as I like Melo, his timeline just doesn't fit with Porzingis. And you gotta admit, Phil actually have an eye for talent. Sure he did trade Tyson Chandler, J.R. Smith, and Iman Shumpert for nothing, but he made it clear that they aren't gonna win anything with this roster, so might as well just blow it up. And yes, I know blowing up is hard, and especially tanking, because the team will probably lose revenue and stuff, but Phil actually sacrificed all of those in order to get Porzingis, a once in a generation talent. And yeah, he did get Frank Ntilikina, and he did let Tim Hardaway go in an internship with the Atlanta Hawks for defense, and now he's living up to the contract right now. Yeah, he's not bad right now. And then he still got Courtney Lee, who's pretty much killing it. And then credits to Scott Perry for getting Jared Jack, and then getting Enes Kanter and Dougie McBuckets from the Melo trade. They're now proving their worth for the Knicks. And so what's next for the Knicks? What's complicated? Well, let me explain. As much as you want to tank this season, you can never be as bad as the Bulls, Hawks, Kings, and Mavs. Even the Nets probably. So they're gonna wind up at best as the 5th pick. There's no way they're gonna be the 1st pick unless they somehow got lucky and just get the number 1 pick. So let's count teams such as the Nets, Magic, Suns, and Grizzlies. So they're gonna land the number 9 pick, and pretty much giving them a 1.7% chance of landing the number 1 pick, which is even less likely. So being stuck in the NBA purgatory can be solved if A rookie suddenly develops, or B, a marquee free agent signs with the Knicks. However, looking at the situation last year, it's safe to say that they will sign with New York this season, because let's be clear, like, the New York Knicks have been one of the worst front offices in the NBA recently. And also, remember Porzingis, Kristaps' brother Giannis, telling them that if they don't make Kristaps happy, he won't resign with the Knicks even if they gave him a supermax contract. If the same thing happened like last year and they couldn't attract free agents, and if Kristaps is not happy and decided to decline his player option next year, well, it's pretty much over for the Knicks. But let's be clear, let's be positive for a moment. For one, we got no triangle. That's pretty much it. 2, GM Scott Perry also prefers youth development over a win-now mentality. I mean, look at the veterans they're signing. Sure, they might be old, but they're actually helping Frank Ntilikina to be good. And speaking of Frank Ntilikina, I'll probably talk more about it in the next video. So please leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you did. Also, looking at the stats right now, Porzingis pretty much should be an all-star lock. I mean, in the East. Like, I don't know in the West, but in the East, he should probably be an all-star lock. Also, we got less ISO ball because they're not moving the ball. Even though Kristaps has a pretty much high usage rate, he's still actually moving the ball, and he's pretty good at defense. And now they have a young core to develop. Tim Hardaway Jr. is 25, Enes Kanter is 25, Doug McDermott's 25, Porzingis is 22, Willie Hernangomez, even though he haven't played in a while, he's still 23, Damian Dotson's 23, Ron Baker's 23, and Frank Ntilikina is still 19 and is playing good defense, even though his offense kind of dropped a little bit, but he's still pretty good in defense. But there's still one thing though. James Dolan still owns the team, and unless he stays quiet or do something that will benefit the Knicks, don't bet on him yet. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So, thank you guys for watching this video, and I might talk about Frank in the near future. And stay strong, Knicks fans. I believe our time will come, and peace out.